Welcome to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast. I'm your host, Dana Lynn Kay, and I'm back with Maria Redman.
Hello, hello.
We're doing 2 episodes in a row because we've got so much to talk about. The first episode from last week, it was all about running.
Yes.
Chock full of information, chock full of running information. I love it. I'm on a little running challenge myself to run a little 5K here down in South Florida. That Devotion Nutrition is sponsoring. So I figured I'd jump in and beat my last year's time.
We're going 25 minutes.
Yeah, Maria's going to help
on.
me. I did 27 last time, so 25 is the new goal. So this episode, we're going to talk. I actually had put up a question box in my Instagram for you guys to leave some questions about fitness and things that we can talk to Maria about. And then also, I want to talk to everyone about the aesthetics of fitness.
Yes.
Maria is very familiar with that because you are a competitive bodybuilder. So aesthetics come into play because not only are you a performance athlete where you do your races and the Ironman and all those things, but then I
still bodybuild.
You still bodybuild, which is all about aesthetics.
Absolutely.
Nobody cares how fast your 5K is.
No one cares how much you weigh either.
No, exactly. It's just aesthetics.
Just aesthetics.
And I used to compete in figure, and so I got into doing figure and got into the whole fitness lifestyle because I wanted the aesthetic look.
Yes. That's how we all got started.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, I want to look like that. That looks amazing.
That looks amazing. Yeah. And I love the look of like an action figure.
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't want to look like Barbie. I wanted to look like action figure.
That's right. Sign me up for G.I. Joe. I'm coming through.
Right, exactly. And I loved it. Like there was something so beautiful about when I'd see those physiques on the magazine covers. And like, I was just like, God, like they look strong. Yes. They're just aesthetically really beautiful. And that was my, I never looked at like the runway models and was like,
it was like, I want to do that. That was never me.
No. Yeah. In fact, I never even was like, I wish I had her long legs or long torso and her, like that just was. And I'm sure there are people out there who think it's great.
100%.
It just wasn't my thing. And I think a lot of people who do get heavily into the fitness or the bodybuilding world, it's because they love the aesthetic look.
It's all about the aesthetics. It's an art form, right?
It is.
It looks like art.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's fun because you get to literally like make your body look
into a sculpture,
whatever you want it to
be. Right. Yeah. Right. Literally.
Yes.
And it's one of the most strategic processes that you'll ever go through, because thousands of people go to the gym every day and don't look anything like they work out. Some of them, you're like, some people will put down proudly, and I'm not bashing. Of course, this is great. I exercise 5 times a week. And then if you're in the fitness space, you'll see them and you're like,
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Well, I
guess so.
And the thing is a lot of people, and it's kind of like sad where it's like they'll have their goal. They want to go to the gym and they're like, I just want to, like see my abs, and I want to look fit, and this is my goal, and look great in a bathing suit this summer, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
And then you'll see them and they keep looking the same.
Yes.
And they don't achieve that fit look.
Yes.
So first of all, what gives that fit look?
The fit look comes from, and I'm going to hurt everybody today.
No, we're keeping it real because I got my opinions too.
People have been going to the gym and really thinking that they're getting after it.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, the nutrition is so extremely strict.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
Like there's room, but not very much room for anything fancy.
Right.
Right. And then the training is a whole different level. We're talking about, some people go to the gym, they do 3 sets of 15, 20, whatever, and they're doing manageable weight. When you're trying to really change your aesthetics, you're in the gym lifting weight that you're a little bit scared of. When you pick it up, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then you're doing sometimes 5 and 6 sets of that, right? It really takes constant, what I like to call pounding on the muscle groups to make them change. And then there's technique, right?
Right.
Because every muscle has its own insertion point. And so like I said, we're building a sculpture, right? And so for all of the pretty details to pop out, you're going to have to place your elbows this way, your hands that way, your legs this way, up or down, or what, there's lots and lots and lots of technique. And it is it's a very scientific process. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
So most people are like, I want to look like that. Because we all started there too. We're like, I want to look like that.
Yeah.
And we go to the gym and you're like, I am still at the gym.
Yeah.
I have been here for an hour and a half.
And I don't look like that
I don't
yet.
look like that yet.
Yeah.
I'm not finished.
Or I've been doing this for 2-3 years.
Yes.
And why am I not looking like somebody who goes to the gym? And
Yes.
that used to upset me growing up. I was always like a thicker girl. And I would go to the gym and I'd train and I train. And it yet then
Didn't correlate.
It never looked like I worked out.
Right.
And I hated that.
Yes, yes, because you're putting in the work, and I see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I see people consistently show up, but what I also see is not enough challenging to the muscle. When you train, especially by yourself, you stay safe, right?
Yeah.
You pick all the weights that are safe for you to do. Most people stop when they have really 5 or 6 more reps left in the tank. They don't realize it because they're not pushing to those points. It takes pushing to muscle failure over and over and over again for your body to change. You have to tear the muscle open constantly for this change to happen. And then you have to have the sleep needs to be correct. The nutrition has to be correct. The hydration, you have to have to really build muscle the right way, you need this perfect storm of everything to come together consistently for months and years.
Yeah.
And that's the problem too.
Yeah.
People think, okay, well, I've been here for 5-6 months. I don't see anything, but they really haven't been consistent. Maybe they were consistent in coming, but their plan is all over the place. They're changing the workouts up all the time. That's another thing. You shouldn't be, every workout is different. Nope, it's shoulder day, it's shoulder day.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing for the next 6 to 8 weeks, the same routine, checking the box. So they're not really consistent there. And then their nutrition's not very consistent. So they'll maybe have 3 to 4 days that are great out of the 7. And then on 2 of the 7 that are not so great, they're really not so great.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, which is so sad, it washes away all of your progress.
Yep.
It will completely wash it. One day can wash away.
Yeah.
It can wash it away.
Yep.
I see competitors, and I mean, I've been here too. After a show when I was an amateur, the first thing you want to do is eat food.
Yep.
Like we weren't eating food already.
Right.
This is why my mindset on it changed. I'm like, we sound dumb.
Yeah, we do.
Right?
Yep.
And then you go eat all of the things that you were craving, the cookies, the cakes, all the things.
All the garbage.
And then you put on 20 to 30 pounds of water weight in a day.
Yep. Been there.
And then you look in the mirror and you're like, I was dieting for 20 weeks, training my butt off, and I look like a fat blob
In
after
20 minutes.
In 20,
It's disgusting. You shove all this food in.
absolutely.
As though you were starving to death.
Right. You were fine just 3 hours ago before you ate it. Now all of a sudden you're eating the world. What happens?
Oh God.
Yes. And so, but that is really why people do not look fit. There's a very big difference between coming to exercise and then sculpting a body.
Yep.
It's completely different, 2 different worlds altogether.
Okay.
And I think for the masses, they are just looking at all the social media and all the women and, they're like, oh my God, she looks amazing. And, they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and start my program. And then they're in there for 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen. That is not it.
Yeah.
You're going to continue to be disappointed.
Yep.
So maybe shifting your goals a little bit is key. And being a little bit more realistic, or you're going to have to jump to the other side and really train hard.
Yeah.
Now, especially if you're not taking any type of performance enhancing drugs,
Yep.
you're definite. And this is why a lot of beginners will take them because they want the results now.
Now, it's a shortcut.
And it only makes them unhealthy and really also not look that great because there's something to be said for muscle maturity as well.
Yes.
Right? That's a whole nother
Big time,
element.
yeah.
So you either need to shift your goals and say, okay, I want to just get on exercise to be healthy and fit so that I can move and do things.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I lose some body fat, but I'm not super cut, right? Because there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
Right? Because here's the flip side. There are not many people in the bodybuilding space that are like me. Most bodybuilding people that are in bodybuilding, they can't run, they can't jump.
Yep.
A lot of them can't even do push-ups. A lot of the guys can't even do push-ups. They
Yeah.
look like they're pulling all this weight. They can't even do push-ups,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Or pull-ups without the assisted machine.
Right.
So they're not performance based.
Yep.
And that also is not, they look great. We look amazing,
Yep.
but a lot of them can't do anything else. And that
Right.
is unhealthy.
Yes.
So when you're over here thinking, oh yeah, I want my shoulders to pop and all that good stuff. Yes, but be happy with the space that you're in, that you can function and do things that the other side mostly
Right.
can't do.
Yeah.
And then to get into the box where I'm in, it's a very strategic box.
Yes.
And it's very stressful, right? Because I'm balancing a fine line of staying performance based and then staying aesthetic based. And how do you do that is all nutrition, right? The fueling has to be
Yep.
precise. I eat like it's a job.
Yeah.
It is disgusting, honestly, to see the copious amounts of food that I eat.
Yes.
Because I'm plowing right now at this current moment between 5,000 and 6,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
That is a lot of food.
That's a lot of food.
That is a lot of food.
Oh my
Just so I
God.
can maintain the aesthetics
right.
and then still be able to be performance based.
Yes.
And so is it great?
Yeah.
I like the way I look. I like the way I feel, but I wouldn't recommend it for the average. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there are days where I am miserable, where I get home and I'm like, I have 3 meals left. I don't want to eat anything. I just want
Yeah.
to take a shower and go to bed. So now what am I doing? I'm sitting with 3 meals in front of my face,
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
picking.
No, and I
Yeah.
know.
It's disgusting.
And it's funny because I just think about, for me, like last night we had mahi mahi, like fish tacos
Mm-hmm.
for dinner, but we ate late, and it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. But like I still was like shy of protein for the
Yes,
day.
yes. Oh.
And I was like, okay. And I did 2 scoops of devotion because I'm just trying to get it in. And I'm trying to, put some raspberries on. I was making, because I was just like, okay, if I go to bed now, I'm
Right.
like, I'm not, I'm underfed.
Yes.
And I got dentist in the morning. I'm trying
Yes.
to weight train tomorrow. Like I got a lot to
Right.
do. I got to get in all this protein. But a lot of people will just go to bed.
They'll just go to bed.
But I
Right.
was like, no, I need this protein. Like I need
Absolutely.
to get the rest
and you
of my
have to
food
get it in. Right. And so if you want to really maintain the look,
Yep.
the eating is the look. Of course, the weight training, but the eating is going to dictate what happens.
And people
to
are
the
scared
look.
of carbs.
Oh, they are, but they're
every
necessary.
time, I will say something about how, like, okay, yeah, I'm eating more carbs, or I'm eating carbs, and the women are like, oh, I can't do that, or I'll just, blow up, whatever. And I'm like, well, then your muscle. What do you think? How do you think your muscles are going to look good?
Yes, you definitely need them. Now, guys, take it from me, someone who was in the ketogenic space. That is how I lost all my weight, was ketogenic dieting. So,
Okay.
like, I was like attached to ketogenic dieting, like Jesus is attached to the Lord. Okay,
Oh my God. Yeah, you were-
I was in. And
Okay.
I do think it's an amazing nutritional protocol.
Yes.
And it worked well for me because I could stay on it for years. I didn't care about carbohydrates.
Okay.
However, at that time in my life, I was just finishing playing women's professional football, and I'd gotten into bodybuilding where we were in that trend where carbs weren't a thing, right? Remember when it was all low
Oh,
carb.
yeah.
So
Yep.
it kind of worked out until I started going into a higher level. I turned pro.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I don't know why I don't look like everybody.
So again, aesthetics, carbs
Yeah.
for
I was
aesthetics.
like, I'm not looking so hot on stage. What's
Right.
going on?
Yeah. Well, you're keto.
Keto wasn't keto.
No. Yeah.
I started having to implement carbs back into my diet. Now, as a dietitian, you would think the common sense in me would say, because
Yeah.
I have the education,
Right.
like, of course I know this. But when you're in a fitness space, you can get so pigeonholed to these nutritional things. If it works, right? Once it works and you see that it works, you will never want to let the thing go.
Okay.
The problem with that theory is your body is never the same either. Your body's always, evolving.
Yes.
So you need to evolve with that.
Yes.
So I had to learn how to evolve and say, hey, I need carbohydrates if I want to look this way and even perform better. Because, once I started getting then into racing, I was like, I don't need I was eating some. I was like, I can get away with just what I'm eating. Yeah, then I did a 50-mile bike ride and I almost died out in the middle of the street. I was like, I can't get home.
Oh my
This
God.
is pre-Uber.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. This
Oh,
is
wow.
not good.
Yeah.
So carbohydrates are extremely important to nutrition. I no longer, after really going through all of the studies and really taking thousands of clients I've had through nutritional protocols, I think that it's something that you can use short term for like a cut or something, but long term overall nutrition, carbohydrates are a necessity.
Yes.
Now, if you haven't been eating carbohydrates for a long time, you're going to have to increase them and introduce them back very slowly. So at maybe 25 to 30 grams per day for a week or two, and then bump from there.
Okay.
And that's how you're able to get your body into more carbohydrates. But they're necessary. Your brain actually needs carbohydrates to function.
Right.
So we really shouldn't be cutting a macronutrient out of our protocols at all.
And if you're lifting hard and heavy and you want that real
The pump.
that aesthetic look
Yes.
with where you see your muscles, you need the carbs.
You need the carbs. That's where the pump is coming from.
Right.
The pump is from the carb.
Yeah.
So there's no shoulders or biceps or any of that if there's no carbohydrates. They'll just look meh.
Right.
Yeah. They're just like,
And because I see nowadays, there are a lot of women who are looking lean and tight and they've got the muscles popping and all the stuff on social media.
Right.
And they're doing well in the coaching space because they're promising other women this
Yes.
this look.
Yes.
But I mean, and I hope, because it's not like I'm one of the women buying these plans. I don't know what the plans look like.
Well, I do, because I
Okay.
get a lot of the clients that come from the said purchased plans
Right.
from the people with the 50,000 followers.
Right.
I get those women all the time.
Okay.
These plans, first of all, are extremely low calorie.
Yep.
And very devoid of carbohydrates, and also now devoid of healthy fats.
Oh, wow.
So you got a lot of them cramming a lot of protein into the process,
Yeah.
and some veggies, and kind of just leaving it there. And it's not. And then the weekend cheat meal, which is full of high processed sugar, ultra processed food. And I'm like, and really what's happening is when clients come to me for coaching, I want to have the conversation with them from an education space. And if you're a client looking for a coach, you need to start asking your coach real questions and see what they really know about nutrition.
Right.
Most of them don't know.
Yeah.
They had someone coach them that got them to that spot.
Now they have a look.
They have a look, and they're marketing the look.
Yes,
but
exactly.
they don't really understand how metabolism works. They don't understand how hormones work. So they're clueless on the whole process, and they're just kind of saying, oh, I'm going to give the calories in, calories out diet, right? And see if that's going to work.
Yep.
And more times than not, it does not work. All it does is ruin metabolisms. You'll lose maybe some weight in the beginning. That's typical. And then it kind of plateaus. And then some people start gaining even though they're eating that same food. They're not cheating, but their metabolism is not ruined. Thyroid, is not optimized. It's dropping. Then, if we're in perimenopause or menopause, that's a whole nother ball game.
Oh, yeah.
It's another bottle of wax. So there's a lot there. And so most of the coaches don't understand. So they're just marketing their look.
Yep. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
And I mean, the really beautiful ones with the great chiseled physiques, it's like they've got the big followers and they got the women signing up going, because they want those same results.
Right.
And I'm like, are the other women really doing what this woman has done?
The average woman does not have time to devote to this.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was married and the kids were still at home and I was embarking on this bodybuilding journey, I literally was training at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because I was a traditional wife. Like, I don't believe my husband should be making any of his food. So I was making all the food, doing all the clothing, getting the kids off to school, all the whole nine. And I felt like I chose bodybuilding, not them. So I'm going to do my duties and then go and do it.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And most women do not have that type of mindset, right? And so to think that you're going to be able to do this and still dedicate properly to your family, it's like, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. If you don't have help, it's extremely difficult to do.
And I mean, whatever physique I built, along the way, I started lifting when I was 12, and I think that I packed on a lot of my muscle in my earlier
Earlier
years
years.
because I was powerlifting. And I was doing, and my mom used to yell at me, "You're going to be like a refrigerator. You're going to be big and bulky." But I was doing deadlifts, squats, and bench pressing.
The big threes.
Starting at 12, 14 years old, and I was doing real heavy, and I did it for a long time. And so finally, when I did strip off the body
It paid
fat,
off for you.
there was my muscle. And then I've been
Absolutely.
keeping this foundation for like a
Yes.
million years. But I've been, also I challenge myself. I do
Yes.
go heavy. I don't go crazy heavy, but I go
Right.
to where, because I normally either take a class or I work out alone.
Right.
So I don't have a spot, but I'll do what I can do.
Right, you do what you can do.
And I've kept on some
Yeah.
belts. I've kept
Yeah,
on some
yeah, you look
muscle.
great,
And,
yes.
and then and it's also a mind thing because sometimes like I'll start looking, I'll be like, "Oh, I look too scrawny." But then sometimes if I'm eating well,
If you're
and I'm
eating well,
and I'm like,
your
I look too
mus-
bulky, and like I freak out, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with me?" And I gotta pull back a little bit. Then I gotta add on a little bit. Then I'm like, "Where's my butt?" Then I gotta add the butt back. Then I gotta get the quads back.
It's
Now I got saggy skin. I gotta figure that out. Like I got so much shit going on.
Saggy skin is a two-part thing. Of course, collagen reduces as we age,
Yes.
right? So that's number one. But in most cases, well, it's double-edged. That's happening, and then when women are not getting in enough protein when they have high energy demand,
Yeah.
23 miles last
That
week,
was me.
your body will eat
Oh,
itself. So
yeah.
your skin has nothing to.
Yep.
It's gonna sag.
Yep.
So that's where you want to be careful.
I gotta, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, I gotta get my calories higher.
Yes.
Because I wasn't running before.
Right. And so you just threw it into the mix and still
I
keep
just
eating
added,
the same
and I just did
food.
the same thing because I'm like, and I still have my little tracker, and I'm still
Right.
doing my stuff. And now I'm like, and no wonder why I'm tired.
Yes.
I'm like a zombie because I'm like now exerting so much energy.
So much more energy. Yeah. So you have to eat
Oh, I'm going
more.
home to like I'm eating a
Crush
bowl of
some food.
rice and some beef and everything.
Right. So yeah, I mean, as long as you're active, your body will burn the carbohydrates. But when
Yeah.
it comes to the aesthetics, that's where you have to get nitpicky with everything. Like how much protein you're taking in exactly, how much carbohydrates you're taking in exactly, and maybe it needs to ebb and flow depending on what day you're training and
Okay.
what body part you're training on that day.
Yes. Do you think like on butt day I should be doing more?
So let me
on glutes.
Here's the thing for glutes. Because I transform glutes. I love to transform some
I
saggy
need some-
glutes.
I need some
love
better
it.
glutes.
I love a transformation of some
Yes.
glutes. But glutes take food.
Yeah.
It's a large muscle,
Yep.
even though we think it's scrawny, right? We might be
Yeah,
like, my
yeah,
butt
yeah.
cheeks are not. No, they really do take some calories
Yeah.
to build, right? They take calories to build. And the problem with it is I see people sometimes doing like, well, not so much. I think it's getting better. Girls will hip thrust a lot of weight,
Yeah.
which is an amazing exercise for glutes. But then I'll see them do like RDLs or something, and they're using like low weights, right? Glutes take a lot of load.
Yeah.
They need load to grow, right? They need load to grow, and they can take more of a hit multiple times a week than other body parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they recover extremely well. So, like when I have my bikini competitors, most of them train glutes 3 times a week.
Oh.
Yeah, and all
Okay,
heavy.
that's
So-
good to know because sometimes you hear about overtraining.
Well, your glutes,
but if your glutes can handle
they
it,
can handle it. They can handle it. So
okay,
adding
that's
more
good
on the
to know.
glutes. Absolutely,
Because I have to now that I feel like because of my running.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I hit the glutes.
yes, because you're going to be using a lot of that muscle.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
This is oh god, Maria, we gotta make sure throw in some glute into the
the
plan.
program.
Be like, okay, if you're running this day, then you're doing glutes this day,
Yes.
and I want you eating for the glutes.
That's
'cause,
right. You
yeah.
have to eat for the glutes.
It's very strategic. That's what people don't understand.
Yes.
If you see somebody with a great build, chances are either they're really, really lucky,
Right.
or they're strategic
Just
about what they're doing.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It's all strategy.
So I have a few people in here that wrote about some fitness questions. Somebody wrote, two people said how to start. One person said how to start self workouts at home, and then somebody else wrote where does someone start with weight training. So I mean, those are two very similar questions, but from two different people. So it sounds like people are.
The beginner. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I love that question. I think if you're starting a workout at home or let's take it home. So you probably have dumbbells, right? I think that you need to have dumbbells. You need to have a bench. You need to have a mat, a stability ball, for sure. And then, If you can get an anchor for some bands, okay. I'm not a, bands, bands don't do it for me. Bands,
Yeah.
they're
I think they're like a good finisher,
They're
maybe like
a
a
good
little
finisher.
burner,
Yeah,
like
burner, but-
doing some of those little side things that are hard to get,
but
you know.
not really for muscle building.
Yeah, yeah.
So you start there. Big movements. First and foremost, I always tell people to do wall sits before they start doing squats.
Oh.
Just so that they can get their knees
Yep.
like ready for that type of constant bending and load. Wall sits are extremely effective, but if you can really do wall sits, you can do a minute, then you're probably good for squats. So I'd probably do squats, lunges. Depending on the height of your bench, you can do bench step ups are super effective. Deadlifts, push ups. I always recommend, especially women, learn how to really do push ups. They are a great power move. I mean, to be able to propel your body up and down on the floor like that is really a huge thing. So
Yeah.
push-ups for chest development, before you even getting into chest press with the dumbbells, because this is a beginner. Shoulder press, don't go too heavy. I wouldn't even do any lateral raises or front raises yet. Just focus on being able to push weight over your head and get that bigger muscle on the delt
Yep.
formed first.
Okay.
Then core stuff, lots of planks, of course, regular plank, then side planks. Definitely practice. I'm not huge on doing crunches, a full sit up.
Yeah.
It's harsh on the low spine.
Yeah.
But abdominal crunches are okay, but literally just a crunch, just the top portion of the muscle.
Okay.
And then doing something like leg lifts. Dead bugs are a great exercise to
Yeah.
do for core stability. They're actually hard if you do them correctly. You can make them a little bit more difficult if you put a dumbbell in your hand while you're doing them.
Okay.
So dead bugs are really, really good. And then for the back, I like to see a lot of rows. So you can do a one arm row, or you could do bent over rows.
Okay.
Bent over rows would be the natural progression from the one arm row.
Yep.
They take a lot of core stability, so you should make sure your core is good and you can stay in that bent position before you try to do 2 dumbbells at one time.
Okay.
So doing one arm dumbbell rows is going to be fine. Because you're home and you don't have, cable machine, or unless you do buy a cable machine, you won't be able to do lat pull downs, and that's where I always say having band
to attach to
to
something.
attach, and they're okay, but it does activate,
Yep.
a good portion of the lats. But if you can find a place to mount a pull-up bar, yes, I know you won't be able to do pull-ups yet, but you get one of the big, thick bands and use that to make your own assisted pull-up at home.
Yes.
That is highly effective.
Yes, it is.
And for me, my rule for all my clients is I don't care how old you are. The only person who can't do it is mom, because she doesn't have a pull-up thing. But
Oh, she does. Sneaky.
is pull-ups and
Yep.
push-ups.
Yeah.
That's the biggest key, right?
Yep.
It's huge movement. It's great for the body. It develops a lot of different muscle groups
Yep.
all at once. So that's where I would start if you're at home with working out. So you've got your dumbbells, your bench, your mat, stability ball. So you can do leg lifts with the stability ball if you want to add some weight with that
Okay.
between the feet if
Yep.
you want to. And some other things, of course. But that's a good base, a good
Yeah.
starter base. If you're in the gym and you're just beginning, I still like them to use dumbbells with that whole same setup as someone at home.
Yep.
Because they have access to it. And then I would add in a lat pull down
Oh, yeah.
and a seated row, because I think that's highly effective. Both parties bicep curls, and then bench dips, right, for
Okay.
your triceps.
Yep.
And then if you're in the gym, you can throw in some cables, but being able to move your own body weight up and down on the bench is going to be good enough.
Yep.
Now, the key to both of those groups is to not change that workout. They're beginners for the first between 6 and 8 weeks. Keep that same routine, same order of exercises, keep it going 3 days, 4 days a week, depending on what your schedule is.
Okay.
And rock that as the beginner program, just so that you're getting the bigger muscle groups ready, right?
Okay.
And then from there, I would branch off into making the program a bit more advanced and including some more movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. I mean, a lot of people who are beginners, they're very intimidated when they walk
Yes.
into the gym, and it's overwhelming. And then, it's like, because you can get granular with like, how do you split up your workouts and
Right.
body
Right.
parts, and it's overwhelming. But I mean, I always love to just like to stick to the basics.
Just
like
the basics.
If I go somewhere and I'm like, oh my God, the gym's overwhelming and there's people everywhere or whatever, I just like go
Dumbbells in a corner.
Yeah.
That's it.
Super basic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that social media has caused people to think you have to do all these fancy workouts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I go into my gym and I have my same, like where I've got my same military press and
Right.
it's same basic
It's boring.
chest
It
press.
really is boring.
It's
people are trying to make it exciting, and it's not. It's
Yeah.
basic boring movements over and over and over again.
You're right, exactly.
That you need to learn to perfect before you can move on to even like whatever the next progression.
And some of
that
those
would be.
fancy ones where you see the influencers doing, I try to do, and I'm like, these are stupid. They're not even working. I can't even
Yeah.
really.
So here's the thing that happens with like the fancy workouts and the movements. So once you've been bodybuilding aesthetically for a long time,
Yeah.
right? You have to, and you know that there's body parts you need to bring up and show. That's all the fancy stuff that these influencers are showing.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're not even there. The average person's not even there yet.
Right.
This really only makes sense to those of us that are in the space. We're like, oh, I can see how that could be effective.
Sure.
But for everyone else, they're trying it, but they're like, I'm not really, what am I working?
What am I
What's happening?
seeing? Right.
Because it's not for you guys. You're not there yet.
Right.
And so that's where I think my argument with some of the influencers are, they're not saying what stage of the game this is useful for, you know? And I also see like a lot of slow pulling and what people perceive as methodical movements where they're taking the weight and they're moving it uber slow. There is a place for that, but not for everyone else.
Is that like the time under tension?
Yeah,
Or like, what
there's
is
some
that?
time under tension, but that is really also that's when someone has good mind muscle connection, right?
Okay.
And they're pulling load in such a way to create the time under tension and longer stretch or longer holds to flood the muscle with blood. Again, that's techniques that are advanced. And I think that's the problem. There's no delineation for the average person out there to say, is this for me or not? And the supposed coach is not saying, hey, don't try this. If you're a beginner or intermediate, it's not for you. And so that's a problem. I think that people overthink the process too much. Keep it simple, stupid.
Does the tempo matter? Can they just
Just a standard tempo.
Just a standard tempo.
Standard tempo. Don't overthink it. Go
Yeah.
in there and do it. And here's the best part of being a beginner and an intermediate person coming to the gym. You build muscle exponentially faster than someone who's been training for decades like me.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That beginning frame, that first 2 to 3 years, if you do it right and you're consistent,
Yeah.
you can get to the aesthetics a lot easier because
Yeah.
your body will put on muscle. It loves it.
Yes.
That's the sweet spot. If ever there's a beginner who says, I don't know, I don't want to really, this is it.
Yeah.
Because once your muscles get so adapted, trying to make them bigger or make them look a little more crisp, or that's where you see all the special movements.
Yep.
That you guys are like, why would you do that?
No, it's
Like,
hard because also it's like there's only so much weight I can hold and load, and then
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh my God, and then I'm kind of worried about some injury,
Right.
And because I'm like, well, okay, how much do I really want to be squatting under this thing, and
Yes.
you know,
Yes, there's a lot to consider, and especially as you're aging. And I just think people should here's why you need to stick with the basics. You want to be able to get up off the floor.
yeah,
That's where push-ups are very effective, so you can push yourself up.
yep,
Squats, so that you can get to a stand or sit down on your toilet bowl.
yep,
Lunges, so you can be able to extend your legs out in front of you and walk upstairs.
yeah,
Right? So those are like extremely important. Biceps, so that when you're carrying your groceries, you can, because you can't leave one bag behind. You got to get them all.
Yeah.
You can
and like,
carry-
you know
so
what, all this stuff
everyday
right
things.
now, if you're listening and you're like young person, you're like, oh, this is so silly, I can do all this stuff, but like, think about as we age,
Absolutely.
and then suddenly you're in your 70s and your 80s.
Yes.
Doesn't sound as silly, because when you think, why do people flip out when they see someone say, like my mom, who's she's 72
Yep.
and she's built like very strong, and she's like, she looks great, and they're like, oh my gosh, she looks great for 72. It's
Right.
like, well, no, she actually looks what a 72 should look like.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank
the
you.
72-year-olds that
others.
don't eat the protein, that don't lift the
Yes.
weights, that don't do the cardiovascular, that don't do all the stuff. And then they
Absolutely.
look terrible.
They look
And we're
horrible.
trying to, these anti-aging things that now everybody talks about, oh, muscle's the fountain of youth. Yeah,
Right.
it's always
been that way. Absolutely. 100%. And you still, no matter the age, you should try to lift heavy. I give your mom 50-pound dumbbell to row. I hand it to her like, keep on talking like it's not even happening.
Yeah.
I don't flinch, and she just talks to me and rows it.
No, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
You lose it,
And
right.
if she's 72 and she can do it, why not do it?
Absolutely.
And then that's the longevity. That's the
Yes.
quality of life. That's the thing. My mom will come over. I just redecorated my house, and it's like, we needed to move a table.
She's fine.
And she's fine. And she needs to, she's up on the ladder and she's hanging stuff up and I'm not helping her down. Like,
Right.
she's totally fine because she's doing in the gym all of these challenging, heavy movements, with weight resistance. And so it's like and then she's supporting it with nutrition.
Absolutely. You never have to worry about her climbing up something and thinking I have to help her down. She's getting down on her
or
own.
like my mom
I don't even
can't
consider
make
it.
it, or
I
like-
don't even consider it with her. I'm like,
No,
man, she's
she can
fine.
keep up with any of our long walks. She can do anything. But that's something where it's like, it's such a weird thing that people say, oh, she looks great for 72.
Right.
It's like, you know what? It's only because the other people are making it where it's not normal because they're not keeping
They're
up
not keeping
with the
up.
stuff that they should be doing.
Absolutely. They didn't lay a foundation when they were young, and they
And then didn't keep doing it.
Yeah, they just said, well,
why?
I guess.
Just because we say that is my pet peeve on social media. The women will write me like in my DMs, or they'll watch my stories, and they're like, "Just wait till you whatever, wait till you whatever." Meanwhile, I heard that I started this shit when I was like 35. I launched Devotion, so I got into social
Right.
media. Wait till you're whatever. Wait till you're 40.
I
Wait
love
till
it.
40 hits. Now I just hit 45, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm waiting. I'm still doing everything.
I'm still waiting. I'm in the 50s. I'm waiting.
And they're like, oh, wait till you do that. Oh, wait till that. Oh, and everyone's warning me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, maybe because you stopped, but I didn't.
Exactly. I get it all the time too. I'm constantly barraged with the wait until you're, and then I'm like, well, how old do you think I am? Because my oldest child is 32.
Yeah. Right.
I've got grandkids. I'm not a spring chicken over here. I'm just constantly putting in the work smartly.
Yes.
Right? And continuing it. And I know that this is another thing people need to understand between fit and aesthetics. Depending on what you pick, there's no end game here.
Exactly.
It's lifelong till
Yeah.
the grave, right? If you want to stay looking and feeling a certain way, no matter which box you're in, it has to be consistent every day. You have to keep doing it.
I feel like oftentimes when people complain that things changed when I turned 50 or things changed when I turned 60, it's like, no, because you changed your
changed.
lifestyle.
Yes.
You changed the things. And I understand bodies do get
They do,
older.
absolutely.
They
Well,
age,
that's a thing.
certain things.
Right.
But a lot of people then do
We're the problem.
like baby themselves where they're like, oh, well, I used to do that when I was whatever. I can't do that anymore. Well, if you don't do it anymore, then you're not going to do it anymore.
100%. Like, I have this biggest argument in one of the communities that I work in. Everyone has a ranch home there.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah. They don't use
And
stairs.
I always ask them, I'm like, why'd you get a ranch home? And they're like, well, because of all the stairs. And I'm like, yeah, but are you fine to you go out in public and walk upstairs, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all you're doing is conditioning yourself to become more lazy and not able to do said
Yeah.
thing. Not lifting your legs up all the time is going to make, when you go to lift them up, you won't be able to lift them.
Right.
Getting a ranch home is the worst thing that people can do.
Yeah.
If they don't have real joint issues, keep your stairs
When
in
you
your
think
house.
about it, the more that you make life easier for
The worse you
yourself,
get.
the worse your body will be.
Absolutely.
I mean,
It's with everything. Like, so I love to read. I haven't been able to really get into books lately. And a couple months ago, I said, I'm done with Audible. Like, I Audible a lot.
Yeah.
Because I like my books.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
Audible. And I'm always in the car somewhere. And I said, no, I need to physically hold the book.
Same,
I
yep.
need to physically read the words because I feel like my brain maybe is going to diminish if I stop
Yeah.
reading. So it's the same premise, right? Like, if you're not working the thing, you're going to lose
Yeah.
it. You're going to lose it. So I tell
and then when
people
you
all
think
the time,
about it, then it's like, everything we do, you're trying to make it easier. And then they'll blame age.
Yes.
And it's like, well, now you're not mowing your own lawn.
Right.
And you're not walking up the stairs. And you're not parking, in the parking lot far because you're using your handicap thing because you're right there or whatever, like older people. And it's like, well, that's because you're now making your life so much easier.
Yes, we actually do the aging process,
and the body will adapt down.
It adapts down, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so that's what it's really a self-inflicted wound.
Yep.
I mean, if you think about other countries such as like Vietnam, these men and women are living well into their hundreds, healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, completely mobile, completely fluid and mobile, brain space, perfectly fine.
Yep.
Because they're always moving, they're always still reading, they're always doing all the things.
You know what else I notice? Women who are like, oh, because, menopause and everything changed and I can't eat as much as I used to. So they start to reduce their calories down. Then they say, oh, then now my skin is hanging, my body's whatever. And it's like, well, you've reduced your activity, you've reduced your calories.
Your metabolism will downregulate.
Yep, you're not eating enough protein.
Right.
So, and then they're going to blame it on menopause, which I'm not saying. I know menopause brings things, but it's like you play into this whole woe is me, this menopause game when it's like you didn't keep your protein up, you didn't keep your calories up.
Yes,
your skin is now hanging because you're losing muscle. You're not doing all the physical activity. Like, so it's like, so you've just made the whole thing worse.
Absolutely. That's why I'm having a menopause masterclass on September 27th.
Okay.
I'll send you the link. It's online, so everyone can come to it. But that's exactly what I'm teaching about in the menopause class.
Perfect.
How to not be a victim of it. You don't have to be.
Yes.
And a lot of it is self-inflicted.
Yeah, I'll promote that.
Yes, and because we don't, I know there's a lot of people that don't really know the education behind it. I came to realize in my study for this, women, we don't really know a lot about our bodies, period.
Yeah.
We don't. We're clueless.
Yeah.
We think we know, we don't know. And so I want to educate women on how to really age gracefully, like really, for real. Like how to really do it so that they're looking like, mom, and she looks amazing and she's great and she's, able to really live and enjoy her life every single day.
She keeps up with everybody,
she keeps
everything.
Up with everybody and everything. Like every time I see her, I'm always like,
I know. She's great.
A motivating breath of fresh air. But she's one person that I've met that has been putting in the work consistently her whole life.
Yes.
And this is the byproduct of it.
Right.
Absolutely. So
Right.
that's what I'm teaching in my masterclass. But you're right. A lot of women start to act like victim mentality as soon as they get into their mid 40s, and then it gets worse in their 50s.
I can't do it anymore. Oh, I used to do it. Oh, when I was your age, I did it. And it's like, okay, well, why'd you stop?
Why'd you stop? Right. A lot of it is laziness, right? Like I call it out too. Like I'll tell some of my clients, I'm like, no, you're lazy.
Yeah.
You're lazy and you want all these pills that you think are going to make it better, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm dealing with a couple of clients that have taken a lot of the GLP-1s. Like they did it all of, 2024 and some of 2025. And guess what? They're overweight again.
Yeah. What happens is they stop taking it and then they just go back to old habits?
Well, the old habits never left. They were taking it. It supersedes the old habits. That's why a lot of people like it, because they can, so to speak, have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
But then because you can't stay on it long term, now they're off of it, and there's been no foundation laid for the mental space of how you need to maintain it.
That's the only part about it that
exercise.
is just heartbreaking, because it's I call it, it's like a Cinderella drug or something.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, you're on it and everything's magical, and then the time runs out, you go off of it, and it's like the carriage turns back into the pumpkin.
100%.
Because like you underate, now you slow down your metabolism, you didn't get enough protein, now your body looks melted away.
Right.
Now good luck building back that muscle you lost, which is sad.
If you're older, God bless you, because now it's harder. So there's a lot. Is it a useful tool? Yes, if done correctly.
Yeah.
Right? But because of the way that drug works in particular on making you not feel hungry, because it cuts off food noise.
Yeah.
you're going to eat less. You're not going to want to eat. So even if someone's telling you, hey, you got to eat, you still don't even want to eat, right? So that's where it's problematic. Again,
when you're not eating and you're not building that fountain of youth that we talked about, which is the muscle, or you're losing it, that is where, I mean, that is the only thing with that whole, peptide thing is that if it's not used correctly, you damage yourself in the long run. And that's what upsets people because a lot of people don't get educated.
Right. And they're only thinking right now. I look great right now. And it's like, yeah, but first of all, you lost a lot of weight. What weight are we talking about? I can get clients to lose weight, a lot of weight in 2 weeks. Yeah. I can burn up all your muscle and make that happen. I can get the scale to look real good for you.
Yeah.
If you
care
just love
about
that number.
Right.
But the ramifications long term are going to be horrific. And for women, especially with osteoporosis, osteopenia, we're increasing these now with these drugs because we're not taking in enough nutrients. So there's a whole convoluted thing with that. And it frustrates me. I think it's great for people who are severely obese. Like if you have some real weight to lose, absolutely. Because that's a whole different thing that we're dealing with there.
Yeah.
But for the everyday person who's just saying, even if you've got 50 pounds to lose, 60, I would say, you're talking to someone who lost 145 pounds before GLP-1s even existed.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they existed, but they weren't in the main space. And I mean, if I could do it, it was hard, but everyone can do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think about what I accomplished. I look back at some of my, after having the twins, I was like 210, and Bodhi, I had gained 70, and then got down to 123 on stage by the time they were, and I was really lean and really little, and I'm like, I did it because it's like I just put in the work.
It was the work and the mindset, and that was the end of story. And that's what at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to is.
And I was the one who used to say, I'll tell you what, I was the one who was like, I just can't do it. Like I used to say, oh, I'm just not built that way. Oh, I'm just the thicker girl. I had the same story that a lot of people and until I really realized the type of work it really takes. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to shut up now because I can do it. Right. It's just I wasn't doing what it took.
I wasn't doing what it took. 100%. And that's really why everyone is stuck in the box that they're stuck in.
Yes.
You're really not doing what it takes to get to the next level.
They're not. And I love it. There's a lot of, I follow a lot of people who are, heavy, they're from heavy families, they have like whatever, but they're doing their walk or they're doing their little thing, and very good that you're doing that stuff. But if you really, really, really want to lose the weight,
transformation takes a lot.
Oh, it takes more than just doing your walk with your friend on Saturday morning or even 5 days a week, just doing a walk around the track. That's not it. That's not it.
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
No.
But that is not it. It really takes a lot of mind and body together.
Oh my God, the work that I had to do to get off that weight. I was doing cardio twice a day and interval training. Then I was training. Then my diet was so freaking on point.
So regimented.
Prepped. Now, I didn't matter what I was doing. I would go to a wedding and I'm doing egg whites and shit. Like, come on. At a Tupperware at somebody's wedding because I didn't care. It's like, it wasn't like, oh, lifestyle.
It was not cute.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that. And I tell you what, like I have my issues with how we were back then. Like, I definitely do. However, the way that we had the ability to just lock in. Everyone's using that word lock in. We were locked in. When you eating cold fish.
Oh, cold fish with the slime on it. With the slime on it.
Because it might have tasted a little extra good because you needed
Oh God, I got pictures of me like at a restaurant and I'm like showing my own because I ordered like steamed broccoli and I'm like so proud of it with mustard. I mean, I was locked. The shit that I went through, and then I get pissed off when people are complaining, like they're like, well, or they say to me like, well, I don't have to look like a fitness model. I'm like, trust me, you won't.
You won't.
You will not.
You will not.
You see some of my pictures. If you knew the shit I was doing, how locked in I had to be to get the aesthetics that I got, to get the results that I got, to lose the weight that I got, to look the way that I got in the weight room, in the kitchen. It's no joke.
And it was like a whole nother job.
It's a whole nother job, and I'm doing it with 3 little babies and running my house and doing my stuff. But it's like, if you want it, sure. But like the rest of your life,
and that is the difference between the aesthetics and the fit.
That is the difference.
You have to be completely sold and locked into a process.
Yes.
Whatever your process is, you have to be sold to it.
And realize that some things, it's a sacrifice.
Yes.
It's a sacrifice. And you can't now
Yes.
say like, well, my husband and I want to, we don't get to go out to eat as much, or we go out
Right.
to eat. Well, you know what? Now's not the time.
Look, I mean, funny story. I would still try to do the family go out every now and again because
Yeah,
my
that's
husband was
hard.
going. Let me tell you, one time, the first time we did it, I had my bag. I pulled the food scale out, and he was looking at me. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "I am not joking. You want me to have family time? This is how it's
this is
going to
it,
happen.
right.
I am here. We're here to be together and commune.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the food. I have my food.
Right.
And I said, now I'm going to get a plate from the waiter. I'm going to put my food on the plate. And this is what it's going to be.
Yep.
I'm weighing everything out, making sure it's right. And
Yeah.
he was looking at me and he's like, this seems crazy to me. But then years later, when I put him through his weight loss and fitness, I got him in a really amazing shape.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I understand.
I get
now.
it.
He was like, yeah.
And you don't
I was like,
until you do
exactly.
it, until you really get it. Like there are times when I am just making sacrifices, pushing myself, doing shit that I'm like, this is not stuff everybody's gonna
No.
wants to do.
No, it's not. And for me personally, it's all, I think you should make the decision on how you are going to feel about it in the end.
Yeah.
I have no regrets. Like as I stand
Same,
here right now,
yeah.
I love the way that I look. I love the way that I feel.
Yep.
And I'm happy with it. I'm happy
Yes.
for every sacrifice that I've made along the way
And
because
some
I did it
people
for
don't
myself.
want it,
Some
and
people
that's
don't want that.
fine.
Right, exactly.
And that's fine. But it's like, don't then expect, like they say, the results you didn't get with the work you didn't do.
Exactly.
It's like you got it. The work is just at a level that most people just will never understand.
Right. And it doesn't include wine on the weekends. Let me tell you that.
No, and it doesn't. It's like
Yeah.
there's nothing. Even though we throw the word around balance, it's not
it's
balance.
not balanced. There's none. I mean, I have tried every way you can possibly think of to see, can I fit some balance in? When I put balance in, my butt cheeks look like balance. They're like,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
No,
that's not
it's
workable.
true, and I have to now be okay that my body, like if I want to work in that type of balance, that my body is not going to be as shrink wrapped as it
That's
did
right.
years ago.
Absolutely.
But, like, I have
It's a
to be like,
choice.
is that-
you have to make the choice, right?
Right.
Do I want the shrink wrap or not?
Right.
You know, and for me, I like the shrink wrap.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. And I also sometimes feel like there's a time. There are times when I'm like, I want the
Yes.
shrink wrap, and then there's other times when I'm like, shoot, I got so many social events,
Yes.
and I do want to just go to this wedding and
Yes.
have a good time, and then I want to do the holidays with my family. Do I want to fluff up like whatever?
Right.
No,
but
but
I want to have some things that I don't normally have, and I'm having them.
exactly.
Yes, and I do that too.
And you got to just
Yeah.
be honest with yourself.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
That is the key. You have to be honest with yourself. When I'm off, I'm like, I'm off.
I'm off, right.
I'm eating things that I wouldn't normally eat. I'm enjoying them and within reason. Like
Yeah.
I have my buffer, right?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is my buffer. And like right now I'm done with the buffer. I've been on the buffer for some months and I'm
Yeah.
like, buffer's over.
Yeah.
It's time to
Right.
stop with that because I've had enough. You know, like
Yes.
as soon as certain things that I wear get a little tight or uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, we're done here.
Yep, that's
we've,
where-
we've buffed up to the point.
Yeah.
Now we're finished.
Yeah, we're buffed. We are buffed.
buffed.
Yes, we are buffed and puffed and ready
And stuff.
and stuffed. Buffed, puffed, and stuffed. Like that's like
Because
zip
I
it.
understand how hard it is to get it all back off,
Yeah.
right? So I will only allow myself a small window
Yep, same with me.
so that I can.
I just say I'm like I'm too. I get
Yeah,
too
this is it.
tired,
Yeah.
and I'm too old to make a comeback.
yeah,
I've
I'm
done
constantly
too
reminding
many-
myself. I'm like, oh
No, I'm
is-
too. I've done the comebacks. I just can't do it anymore. And every now and then I do go a little off, like
Right.
whatever, and then I get that feeling where like you said,
Yep,
it's enough.
it's enough.
and we get back in track
Right.
and check. But we know what it takes.
Yes, and so yeah, that locked in mentality. If you
Yeah.
don't have that, I would say that. Well, I know the aesthetics won't come.
No.
It will not because that's what it takes.
All right, so you heard it here. Lock it in,
Lock
lock
it
it
in.
up. If you want the aesthetics, be consistent, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Maria.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to
Thanks
check
for
out that
having me.
master class. I'm going
Yes.
to post about it. I'll
Yep,
put
I'll
that
send
up. I
you
have a
the
lot
link.
of women who follow me who would love
They
that.
would love it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. All right, and I'll link it also in.
It comes
this.
with some goodies as well. So nutrition, training.
Oh,
some-
nice.
Yeah, throwing some little goodies there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it on my stories too. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining in to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast.